Elon Musk walks into court with a lawsuit worth $97 billion. His target? The company he created. OpenAI was supposed to save humanity from dangerous AI. It was supposed to be open source, non-profit, transparent. Instead, it became a $157 billion empire controlled by his former partner. Sam Altman now runs the most powerful AI company on Earth. And Elon? He's trying to burn it all down. You're watching CashflowCoach, and today I'm breaking down the story of how two men went from co-founders to enemies, how a non-profit became a profit machine, and how the fight over AI's future became the most expensive betrayal in tech history. This is about power, money, and the technology that will define our species. And it started with one man's fear. In 2014, Elon Musk couldn't sleep. He wasn't worried about Tesla. He wasn't worried about SpaceX. He was worried about something far more dangerous: artificial intelligence. Elon had been reading research papers, talking to AI scientists, and what he learned terrified him. He believed that if AI became smarter than humans, it could be the end of our species, not in some distant future, within decades. I don't think most people understand how quickly machine intelligence is advancing. Elon tried to warn people. He spoke at conferences. He tweeted warnings. He even tried to convince the US government to regulate AI. Nobody listened. And meanwhile, one company was dominating the entire field. Google had been buying up every AI research lab they could find. They had 3/4 of the world's top AI talent working for them. Google was building a monopoly on the technology that could change everything. So Elon reached out to Google's CEO at the time, Larry Page. They were friends. They'd known each other for years. Elon asked him a simple question: how can you be sure superintelligent AI won't wipe out humanity? Larry dismissed it completely. He said Elon was being paranoid. He said AI would be fine. But Elon saw something else. He saw one company controlling the most powerful technology in history. And the person in charge didn't seem to care about safety. That's when Elon realized, if nobody else was going to stop this, he would. And he'd need to find the right partner. December 2015. A small group of tech leaders met for dinner in San Francisco. Elon Musk was there. So was Sam Altman, the young president of Y Combinator. Also at the table, Greg Brockman, who'd helped build Stripe, and Ilya Sutskever, one of the most brilliant AI researchers in the world. The conversation turned serious quickly. They talked about AI, about Google's dominance, about the risks of letting one company control everything. Elon laid out his vision: build a competitor to Google, but make it different. Make it non-profit. No shareholders demanding returns. No pressure to cut corners for profit. Just pure research focused on building safe AI for humanity. What's the furthest thing from Google? Elon asked. A non-profit that's fully open. That's where the name came from. OpenAI. Open source. Transparent. Built for the world, not for investors. Elon said he'd commit $1 billion to fund it. With Elon's money, Greg's operations experience, Ilya's AI genius, and Sam to run the show, they'd have the dream team. They shook hands on it. OpenAI was born. The mission was simple: build artificial general intelligence safely and give it to humanity for free. However, very soon that would all change. When OpenAI officially launched in December 2015, it didn't look like a billion-dollar company. They didn't even have an office. The team worked out of Greg Brockman's apartment, but they did have money: $1 billion pledged from Elon and other investors. That funding meant they could recruit top AI researchers immediately, and they did. But here's the problem: they didn't have a clear plan. They spent months building an AI that could play the video game Dota 2. They figured if they could teach AI to navigate a complex game world, maybe it could understand the real world. One former employee admitted, "We were just doing random stuff and seeing what would happen." At this point, neither Elon nor Sam was around much. Elon had Tesla and SpaceX. Sam was still running Y Combinator. The day-to-day was led by Ilya and Greg. and they had one shared obsession: AGI, artificial general intelligence, an AI that could match or surpass human intelligence at any task, not just play Go or recognize images, actually think. Some researchers said if we could build a machine smarter than us, it could then build even smarter machines beyond what humans could even imagine. Inside OpenAI, employees talked about AGI like they were building God. They genuinely believed they were creating something that could cure every disease, end poverty, and solve problems humans couldn't. But they also knew it could do the opposite. Sam Altman himself said, "If this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong." The stakes couldn't be higher, and the cracks were already starting to show. By early 2017, the OpenAI team hit a wall. They'd been calculating how much computing power they'd need to build AGI, and the number was massive: billions of dollars, maybe tens of billions. That's when reality set in. A nonprofit couldn't raise that kind of money. Donations and grants weren't enough. They needed serious capital, the kind only investors could provide. But investors don't give money to nonprofits. They want equity. They want returns. So the team started discussing a new structure, a for-profit entity that could raise real money. Elon was in those conversations, and he had an idea. He wanted OpenAI to merge with Tesla, or if not that, he wanted full control of OpenAI himself. Elon believed Tesla was already working on AI for self-driving cars. Combining the two companies made sense to him. But the board said no. They didn't want Elon controlling everything. They didn't want OpenAI to become a subsidiary of Tesla. That's when Elon made his decision. In February 2018, Elon Musk resigned from OpenAI's board. Publicly, they said it was due to conflicts of interest, that Tesla's AI work overlapped with OpenAI's mission. But the truth was simpler. Elon wanted control, and when he didn't get it, he walked away. And he took his money with him. Elon had pledged $1 billion, but he'd only paid about $44 million so far. The rest? Gone. OpenAI was suddenly facing a funding crisis, and that's when everything changed. March 2019, OpenAI made an announcement that shocked everyone who believed in their mission. They were transitioning from a non-profit to a for-profit company. They called it a capped profit model. Investors could make returns, but only up to 100 times their investment. Sam Altman argued this was necessary. They needed billions to compete. They needed to survive. But many people saw it differently. OpenAI had been founded on one core principle: no profit motive. Build AI for humanity, not shareholders. The name OpenAI meant open source, transparent, free for the world. And now, they were doing the exact opposite. They stopped releasing their models publicly. They stopped being transparent. As soon as they had something valuable, they locked it down. Then came the partnership nobody expected. In July 2019, Microsoft invested $1 billion into OpenAI. Microsoft, one of the biggest tech companies in the world. The exact kind of corporate giant OpenAI was supposed to be an alternative to. But it made sense for both sides. Microsoft had cloud computing infrastructure OpenAI desperately needed, and OpenAI had cutting-edge AI Microsoft wanted. Still, the irony was impossible to ignore. Elon had co-founded OpenAI specifically to prevent one big tech company from controlling AI. And now, OpenAI was partnering with one of the biggest tech companies on Earth. Elon would later sue, demanding they change their name from OpenAI to Closed AI. But by then, Sam Altman was fully in charge, and he had very different plans. November 30th, 2022, Sam Altman sent out a simple tweet. "Today we launched ChatGPT. Try talking with it here." OpenAI called it a low-key research preview. They didn't expect much. Employees took bets on how many users they'd get in the first week. The highest guess was 100,000. They were wrong by a factor of 1,000. ChatGPT didn't just go viral, it exploded. In just 2 months, it hit 100 million users, faster than any app in history. For context, Facebook took 4.5 years to reach that milestone. Suddenly, everyone on Earth was talking about OpenAI. Students used it for homework, writers used it for ideas, programmers used it for code, and investors started throwing money at anything AI-related. In January 2023, Microsoft increased its stake with another $10 billion investment. OpenAI's valuations skyrocketed. By 2024, the company was worth over $150 billion. Sam Altman became one of the most powerful people in tech. He spoke at the World Economic Forum. He advised governments. He met with heads of state. Meanwhile, Elon Musk watched all of this from the outside. He'd co-founded the company. He'd put in the initial funding. He'd believed in the mission. And now, Sam Altman was running a $150 billion empire built on the nonprofit Elon helped create. In March 2023, Elon launched his own AI company, xAI. He said it would focus on truth, not political correctness. He said it would be the real alternative to OpenAI. But more importantly, Elon decided to fight back in court. March 2024, Elon Musk sued OpenAI and Sam Altman. The lawsuit was brutal. It accused them of betrayal and perfidy of Shakespearean proportions. Elon's argument was simple. OpenAI had violated everything it was founded to do. They'd promised to be nonprofit. They went for-profit. They'd promised to be open source. They became secretive. They'd promised to avoid big tech monopolies. They partnered with Microsoft. Elon claimed Sam Altman and Greg Brockman had tricked him into donating $44 million to a nonprofit under false pretenses. He said they manipulated him, then built an opaque web of for-profit affiliates engaged in rampant self-dealing. In other words, Elon believed they'd lied to him from the start. OpenAI fired back immediately. They released emails showing Elon had been fully involved in the decision to go for profit. They showed texts where Elon himself had pushed for a profit-driven structure as long as he controlled it. OpenAI's blog post was titled, "Elon Musk wanted an OpenAI for profit." They argued Elon didn't care about nonprofits. He cared about control. When he didn't get majority equity and full control, he walked away. And now that OpenAI was successful without him, he wanted to tear it down. In June 2024, Elon withdrew the lawsuit. But 2 months later, he filed again, this time in federal court with even bigger claims. The new lawsuit added antitrust allegations. Elon claimed OpenAI and Microsoft were creating an illegal monopoly and discouraging investors from funding rival AI companies. This wasn't just about money anymore. This was war. August 2024, Elon didn't just sue OpenAI, he sued Apple too. Why Apple? Because they'd announced a partnership with OpenAI to integrate ChatGPT into iPhones. Elon claimed this created an anti-competitive scheme that locked out rivals like his own xAI. But OpenAI wasn't backing down. In late 2024, OpenAI filed a countersuit accusing Elon of running a harassment campaign. They argued Elon was using the legal system to slow down a competitor while promoting his own AI company. And they had receipts. Internal emails showed Elon had known about every major decision, the for-profit shift, the Microsoft deal, all of it. When he left in 2018, he'd told them, "You'll fail without me." And now that they'd succeeded, he was trying to destroy them. Sam Altman started publicly mocking Elon on social media. When Elon made an offer to buy OpenAI for $97 billion, Sam responded, "No thank you. But we will buy Twitter for $9.74 billion if you want." Elon shot back with 2 words, "Scam Altman." The feud had become personal. 2 former partners, now enemies. One controlling the leading AI company, the other trying to burn it down. But here's the twist. Both of them might be right. Let's look at the facts. Elon's core argument: OpenAI betrayed its mission. And he's not wrong. OpenAI was founded as a non-profit specifically to avoid profit motives corrupting AI development. They promised transparency. They promised open source. Within 4 years, they'd abandoned all of it. Worse, the people who donated to the nonprofit based on that mission, including Elon's $44 million, are now watching those assets get funneled into a for-profit worth $157 billion. Legal experts say this raises serious questions. Can you take assets donated to a charity and convert them into private profit? Some argue the answer is no, that OpenAI's conversion might actually be illegal. But here's Sam's side. OpenAI couldn't build AGI as a nonprofit. The computing power required costs billions per year. No amount of donations could cover that. If they'd stayed nonprofit, they'd have run out of money and shut down. Going for profit wasn't a betrayal, it was survival. Plus, Sam argues Elon is being a hypocrite. Elon himself wanted OpenAI to go for profit. He just wanted to control it. When he didn't get control, he left and started his own for-profit AI company. So Elon isn't against for-profit AI. He's against someone else profiting without him. Both sides have a point, but there's a deeper question here. Who should control the most powerful technology humanity has ever created? One billionaire? A non-profit board? A public company? The government? Nobody knows. And that's the real problem. Right now, OpenAI is valued at over $157 billion. Sam Altman is one of the most influential people in tech. ChatGPT has hundreds of millions of users. Meanwhile, Elon's XAI is valued at around $50 billion and growing fast. His Grok chatbot competes directly with ChatGPT, and he's not backing down. The lawsuit is heading to trial. Billions of dollars are at stake. Control of AI's future is at stake. But here's what's really wild. This entire fight might not matter, because China just entered the race. In January 2025, a Chinese AI company called DeepSeek released a model that shocked Silicon Valley. It was as good as OpenAI's best models, but it cost a fraction to build. Overnight, hundreds of billions of dollars were wiped off US AI stocks. Suddenly, Elon and Sam's feud looked small, because the real competition isn't between two American billionaires, it's between nations. And whoever wins will shape the future of everything. AI will replace jobs, create new industries, change how we think, work, and live. It might cure diseases. It might also create weapons we can't defend against. And right now, the two people who understand AI best are spending their time suing each other. Elon Musk co-founded OpenAI to prevent dangerous AI. Now he's fighting the company he created. Sam Altman promised to build safe AI for humanity. Now he's running a for-profit empire worth more than most countries. One of them will win the lawsuit. Both of them might lose the future. The betrayal was real. The stakes are higher. And the story is far from over. I'm CashflowCoach. See you in the next video.